Well, good afternoon. November 4th, 2022. It's about 20 after 1 and might look somewhat familiar here. We're at the Long Gulch Trailhead, and we are going to be doing segment 5 of the Colorado Trail today. It's going to be another out and back trip, and it's going to be a cold one. On the way in today, just when we got into the valley here, my buddy David, who's with me again over there, the thermometer on his Jeep read 23 degrees at the lowest, between 25 and 23 degrees right now. And tonight, I'm sure it's going to be pretty close to single digits. So I've got more layers than a 7-layer salad, I'll be honest with you, to keep myself warm. But it's that thing getting cold tonight. But we've got probably about 8.5 miles. We're going to go to Johnson Gulch today, where we kind of know there's some water and possibly some camping. And we got about 2.2 miles with a 400-foot elevation gain, and then about 6.5 miles with about a 1,000-foot descent. And that's where we're going to camp at tonight. So tomorrow we're going to hike from there up to Kenosha Pass and probably back to the campsite unless we see something along the way that's a little bit better. But anyway, gonna be a cold one. Let's hope I don't freeze to a tree tonight. Let's get out of here. Well, it's just shy of 6 o'clock. We are at Rock Creek. We got here about 5:15, and because the sun started to go down, obviously shorter days, we decided to go ahead and set up, just for the fact that we didn't want to set up in the dark tonight and risk going to Johnson Gulch. But tomorrow we're going to get up pretty early and head on out, hopefully, because I think we're going to want to be moving. They're saying there's going to be gusts up to 50 miles an hour, and tonight it's supposed to drop into the low teens to probably single digits around here. Today was just filled with a bunch of awesome sights. Now, most people wouldn't probably consider walking through the forest the way we did, but it was so peaceful. It was so quiet. There was a nice layer of snow on the ground, and the way that the pine trees and the bark of the tree, as well as the greenery of the tree, just kind of really popped. And I just really enjoyed walking through that. And then just before we got here, it started opening up. There was some aspen groves, but without the leaves, you really get some good views. and some really nice shots of the mountains behind us here. So pretty good day. End of day night number one. Hopefully I don't freeze. My face is already starting to numb up a little bit, so see you tomorrow morning. So here it is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and you can see both survived. David in his potato skin over here that's going to, what is that thing called?
My quantum titanium.
I think you could go down to, like, you know, put yourself in dry ice and still stay warm. But
yeah.
Anyway, it did get pretty cold last night. There were some good gusts of wind that came through, but I actually had so many layers on it, I actually started getting hot. So I know I definitely brought enough clothes. I actually have had 2 more layers to stick on if I really needed it. So we got about 14 miles, I think, to go today. I think that's what we're shooting for. Not really quite sure yet. We're going to go up to Kenosha Pass, which is 7 miles from here, and we've got about 900 feet elevation gain, I think, over the first 5 miles or something like that, give or take. Then we'll come back. We don't know where we're going to end up today. This looked like there was a good campsite, good spot to stop at. It leaves us a nice 7-mile day out tomorrow. But it really all depends on how fast we go.
The wind is like.
Yeah. There's supposed to be 50-mile-an-hour gusts today in the morning, so that could definitely slow us down a little bit. Plus, you know, wearing boots on each one of our feet that are probably like 50 pounds apiece, so that slows us down a little bit as well. So, anyway, let's get moseying. Looking down, there's the town of Jefferson down there. Obviously a really tiny town, but nice little peek at it from just before we crest over the bump here to get down to Kenosha. It's 12 o'clock. We just made it to the Kenosha Pass Trailhead, which is the intersection between Colorado Trail segments 5 and 6. Took us about 4 hours to get here from this morning. We did take a couple nice little breaks on the way. Hiking through the snow slowed us down a little bit, but the coolest thing about that was we got to see all the tracks of all the animals out there. I mean, we saw deer tracks, we saw little critter tracks, a lot of rabbit tracks, and I think the coolest one was the mountain lion track. That was really cool. So the last little bit here was hiking through some really nice aspen groves too. That was one of those highlights. I really like walking through this, especially with the leaves down now. You can see through all the woods and everything, so it makes it look really nice. 7 miles, I said. We got to go back. I think we're going to try to make it to Rock Creek again tonight. as I said, 7 miles to get back there, and we'll see how the day goes. We're just above freezing right now, so it's been a cold one, but hiking warms you up a little bit. Anyway, gonna move, get warmed up. Well, it's 4:30. We've made it to Rock Creek again. Got a beautiful view behind me. Got here about 4 o'clock. Got my camp set up, and boy, that 14 miles. It was a long 14 miles, even though it wasn't a whole lot of elevation gain and loss. It was just, you know, the heavy pack. You know, I brought sandwiches and big packs of tuna fish. I didn't skimp on my food weight, and I definitely did not skimp on the gear that I brought for this weekend. I don't have any true winter gear. I've got my shoulder season stuff, so I kind of made do with that. And in a second here, I'll show you what I got in my tent here. But yeah, I think the heavy boots probably is the biggest thing. I can feel my hip flexors and my hamstrings from, you know, picking those up and curling them all day long. But it was actually very, very beautiful, and I was really surprised at how warm it got midday, probably in the 40s, which I wasn't really, well, was expecting but wasn't. Jefferson said it was going to be in like the low 40s as far as like the weather.com thing, but I figured out here in the altitude and stuff it would be a little bit cooler. But nah, it was actually warm. I was down to just my sweatshirt, my base layer, and my t-shirt, kind of like a 3-layer system. It was getting kind of warm, but anyway, let me go show you what I got in my tent, and as a friendly reminder to myself as to what I brought this time so I can replicate it if ever need be. So as you can see, I got my trusty tarp tent double rainbow, and we'll creep on in here. And down at the bottom, I've got a thermal rest foam pad. That's a 2.1 R rating on that. And then I've got the Thermal Rest X Lite as my next layer. So that's got a 4.2 R rating on that. Now I've got my 15 degree Marbit helium sleeping bag. I've got a 10 degree liner. It's a I guess a thermalite reactor or something along those lines. Down here I've got my Goose Feet down booties. Those things actually, with my warm winter socks, keep my feet really warm. Then I've got a pair of my old ski pants, a Montbell thermalite reactor, an extra pair of gloves, a buff that covers my face somewhere right around there, and then another hat. So Seth ain't getting cold at night. Not at all. So that's the end of day number 2, and we're probably going to go ahead and get some food cooked here, and then maybe have a little fire since we got here so early. But another enjoyable day. Get up bright and early and get mosey and back to the vehicle. Night for night number 2. So, Mr. David here has got some wet feet and socks and shoes. I figured I'd bring the camera out because I have a feeling something tragic might happen here.
Something's gonna happen.
He's waved it over the fire like 4 or 5 times. I'm waiting for one of those things to drop in. Well, that's a no-looker.
Yeah. What we got now?
Well, I used to like the smell of campfire. There is an odor here that I have not recognized. Well, good morning. We made it to day number 3, luckily. It was friggin' cold last night. This morning it was below 20 degrees, so it was actually colder last night than the first night, in my humble opinion. I woke up with some condensation on the inside of the tent, frost mostly. But it's about 7 o'clock due to the time change, which would normally be 8 o'clock. And we got about 7 miles back to the car where we could hopefully get some warmth. I'm sure here next hour or two it'll start warming up a little bit. But we had a beautiful fire last night. Just so relaxing, and makes me always reevaluate whether I want to do big mile days or just, you know, average days, and be able to enjoy those moments where we just kind of chill out along the trail and get to camp a little bit early and really enjoy having that those times of just sitting around a campfire at night. But anyway, onwards and upwards for quite a while. This is what it looks like, guys. What happens when you abuse yourself for fun? Right in the center of the screen there, we've got another moose. Hopefully I can zoom in on it. There they go. 3 of them walking through there. Wow. How cool is that? Looks like a mom and 2 sows. Right there in the center still. Sweet.
There you go, man.
So hey buddy.
What?
How you doing?
What?
How you feeling right now?
I had a long weekend. That's what I'm feeling.
What do you think is the part that got to you?
I think just snow, you know, because it changes the way you walk. And you got heavier shoes, heavier pack. Then it's Seth. I'm tired, man.
You can't factor that into anything, man. That's a variable that you just can't factor in. Yeah, it's all right, man. It's all right. He's doing great. He's still alive. We got about 2 miles until we get to the car.
Yep.
And we're just about to the crest of the first climb, and we'll get about 150 feet down, and then we got a little surprise bump of 100. Yeah, we're gonna do it again. We actually did do it again. We did section 5 twice. So, yeah. Well, anyway, he's gonna sit here and finish his snack, and hopefully I don't have to carry him too far. Well, there you have it, folks. It is 10:30. Took us about 3.5 hours to get here, over the 7+ miles, and another beautiful day. I am not gonna lie, this is kind of like deja vu. Last time we were here, we saw that bull moose, and it started to flurry on the way down to the trailhead. Today, we see 3 moose, and it's starting to flurry right now. So, really cool end of the trip, and just had a great time out here this weekend, and really kind of trying to push the limits a little bit. So until next time, guys, get out and enjoy some nature, get out and hike, take care.